Welcome back to Nets Republic. Before this video begins, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Gosh dang it, we will wait for you. And while I'm waiting for you to hit the subscribe button, I've noticed in the last couple videos, because I have the angle just a little bit higher, I have to be super close to the camera. So it's like old school 2010s vlogger college style, where I'm all up on the camera and the other stuff is in the foreground and in the background and all that. Because if I don't, and I stand too far back, it shows how short I am. So I have to be all up on you like this. And again, we're still waiting for you to hit the subscribe button. I have other things to tell you, don't worry. I have plenty of ways to waste time until you hit the subscribe button. Check out my weekend shirt. That's like every one of them, except for Dawn FM. The shirt is not that current, but that's not here nor there. Now, I have assumed that everyone watching this video has hit the subscribe button at this point. I'm going to assume so, and we will continue on our voyage onward into the various news. No, today's not a news day. Today is another edition in our season review. Today, we are talking about Joey Headband, Joe Harris, and how he did last season. Are you noticing a trend in the season reviews by chance? I know I do. Now, something that I think we have to kind of throw into the equation as for things that went left last season is the fact that Joe Harris was nowhere to be found for about 90% of the season. That's because he was injured very early on. It was eerily similar to the Spencer Dinwiddie injury, to where it's like Spence is there and then around Christmas he's just gone. And Christmas being, because it was like a shortened season, because it was like fresh off of quarantine or whatever. But basically it's the same type of thing. The season starts and a couple games in, no more Joe Harris. Just like the season before, the season starts, 2 games later, no Spencer Dinwiddie for the whole season. It was basically like that. And there were random setbacks and such. So we have to grade Joey on a certain curve. We can only grade him for the games he was able to play. While he was out there, I have to say, I'm just going to keep it a being with you. While he was out there, I'd give his offense an A. And I know you're probably looking at me like, Sever, that is so graceful. Why are you giving Joe Harris an A? It's because of what it is the man is able to give us. Obviously, we know he is a marksman from 3. He is one of the best three-point shooters in the entire league, but he's not just a three-point shooter. Joe Harris can get over to the rim and get the little layups every now and again. He'll even give you a dunk if he's wide open enough. So I'll give him an A for offense. Not to mention, he's pretty good at being a decoy, so that adds more to his offensive cap. And his passing is on the low, pretty above average as well. So if you ask me, that pretty much covers all the offense right there. Jesus Christ. Do you mind? Do you mind? I apologize. My puppy is sentient, apparently, and has literally come to life and knows how to open doors now, but that is neither here nor there. But anyway, the only thing Joey doesn't seem to be able to really have down is the dribbling aspect. I mean, he can drive, but it's the dribbling for me that's a little questionable, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to give him an A for that. When we get to defense, this is where Joe Harris, I believe, is underrated as jive, if you ask me. Mr. Joe Harris on the defensive end is normally guarding the power forward of the other team. Now, let's just run down a couple power forwards, and you tell me if you're impressed yet. Kevin Durant, which is who he would be guarding in practice. LeBron James, occasionally Kawhi. Why not Paul George? 5 is enough. 5 is enough. 5 is enough. The point is, the man plays pretty decent defense on whoever the 5 and or 2 is, and he can give you defense. He can guard from about 2 to 4, which, I mean, that's pretty impressive if you ask me. I mean, he's by no means a lockdown defender, but he'll give us something. And considering that we have people on the roster like Seth Curry and Kyrie Irving, I happen to think that any defense that anyone that is able to give us, I think, is a positive. So I will give Joey that. And these are all things not only I am grading him on, but things we missed during the season. You don't think having Joe Harris out there might have helped us a little bit? I mean, not a lot. It's not like he's Joey Clamps or anything. He's just headband Joey, but I think having him out there would have been able to help us just a little bit in the size department because, again, we had Patty Mills trying to guard Jaylen Brown, and you saw how that happened. I'm not saying Joe Harris would have did that much better, but at least height-wise, you've got a chance. Also the rebounds, too, which I guess we can count that in the defensive category as well. And again, not that he is a rebound magnet, but just another tall-ish person who is a forward. You feels me. I don't see how that's not something we could have taken advantage of at some point. For defense, I'm going to give Joe Harris a C just because it's like we don't really look to him to do that, but he is an able body. And an able body is better than Seth Curry. Sorry, but we'll definitely take that. I think Joe Harris was missed extraordinarily, and not just because of his so adorable and so tradable large contract, but just from the fact that we really needed him out there during the tough times. If Joe Harris was out there when it was just Kyrie Irving and James Harden, that would have been someone else they could have kicked out to that would have stood a chance. If he was out there during those terrible times where it was just James Johnson out there carrying the offense, I think maybe we would have been able to sneak past our way through a couple of these games. There were several games we only lost by a couple points, and I think a couple threes here and there from Joe might have been something useful at least. Do I think absence makes the heart grow fonder? Yes, I do. Because a year ago, I was screaming the bum needed to be benched and traded, but I have moved on from the Milwaukee Bucks series. Right now, I just want them to win a game in the playoffs. I'm not even looking for a series win. I just want them to win a game. And I truly believe that if we had Joe in the first round in at least game one where we lost because Kyrie forgot to play defense on Jason Tatum for that layup, we were technically up. So I think if we had Joe Harris, he sprinkles in about 2 to 3 threes. That's an extra 9 or 6 points. We might have won that game. So in the interest of just winning games and being just a little bit better than what we were, I say don't forget we didn't have Joey. That's what I'm going to throw out there. Let me know your thoughts down below. How would you have graded Mr. Joey Buckets about 3 games worth of season last year? And do you think that he was one of the major missing components to last year entirely? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm going to take the weekend off, and I'll see y'all on Monday to discuss something else, because I'm sure over the weekend the Nets will do something else entertaining for us to discuss. So I'll see y'all on Monday. Make sure you subscribe. Sever the Bond, Nets Republic, another fancy Singer t-shirt. I'll see y'all Monday.